And welcome to Moretz Sports Complex and this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. The final tune-up for the women's soccer team before conference play begins on Saturday as the Patriots from Francis Marion University come calling tonight in a non-conference matchup here at Moretz. Eric Bach and Danny Nicosia, happy to have you along with us on this cool, clear Wednesday night for some soccer from Hickory. And Danny, it's been an interesting week or so for the Bears. They've had a couple of ties, including last week here at home against North Greenville. They traveled down to Florida over the weekend and took on the number 4 team in the country and earned a draw with the Florida Tech Panthers. They come home to take on a Francis Marion team that has yet to score a goal this year. So at least on paper, this looks like the perfect game before conference play kicks off on Saturday against Limestone.
Yeah, Eric, I think it's also a really good opportunity for the Bears to work out some kinks that they've had as well. You know, they've struggled to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's one of our keys to the game today. Is Coach Gary Higgins said, you know, we just need to put the ball in the net. We have to have composure in the final third, and if we can find the back of the net and just relax and have some fun and score some goals, we're going to find success. So I think this is a great opponent for the Bears to look to do that with.
It was a 0-0 draw down in Melbourne, Florida over the weekend for the Bears, but had a goal taken off the board by what was learned to be later an incorrect offside call. So Gary Higgins said that was a little annoying, but he was very happy with the draw because, you know, to go down to Florida and face the top 5 team in the country and walk away with the draw is no small thing for the Bears, but He has liked the offensive chances that they've gotten over the past couple of games, but they just haven't been able to execute it. Only 1 goal scored in those 2 games, and only 3 goals scored in 3 games throughout the season, and 2 of them were in the opener against Pembroke.
And the Bears have 2 freshmen who start up top for them in Leonie Proessel and Evan O'Leary, so I think that's going to come for them, you know. The transition from club or high school to collegiate soccer is difficult. The level of play is a lot higher. So them being able to find the success that they've found already, but then also continue to adjust to the level of play and keep putting goals in for the Bears.
Proessel and O'Leary have all 3 of the goals that they've scored this year. O'Leary has 2 and Proessel has 1. But this is a Francis Marion team who has really struggled to put the ball in the net, even back to the spring season. The Patriots played 10 games in the spring season and only scored 9 goals total. And they have 5 players on the team last year that scored a goal, and 4 of them are back. But this is a night for the Bears to get themselves right offensively, get some confidence rolling, and certainly Francis Marion will be trying to play spoiler here tonight. You saw North Greenville come in here last week, a heavy underdog on paper, and drew with the Bears, so anything can happen. That's why they play the games. But we got our starting lineups lining up across the circle here. Let's read them off for the Bears first. Grayson Cameron, the reigning SAC Defensive Player of the Week, is in net. She was honorable mention all SAC in the spring and won the Defensive Player of the Week this week after giving up just the 1 goal in the past week. Vivian Becker-Peralta starts on D. Rhea Acton also on defense. Stephanie Figuerito, one of the vets, in the middle. Nev Dustin, who Gary Higgins says has been the best player on this Bears team through 3 games. They'll look to play through her today, gets another start. Amanda McFarland, Mac as she's affectionately known. Allie Zuger back in the lineup. She missed the North Greenville game but played down in Florida. Maddie Kyle, Leonie Proessel, and Evan O'Leary round out the Bears starting lineup. Michaela Willits gets the start in net for the Patriots. Jordan White starts on D. Lalandra Jarvis also starts. Ainara Ezeguer gets a start as well. Bressa Nauahine also starting. She's a midfielder for the Patriots. Dale McEwen in the starting lineup. J.G. Guerin as well. He's announcing the Bears right now, but Jadalyn Taylor, Ellie Ray, Brenna McCombs, and Anna Capra wind out the Francis Marion starting lineup. The national anthem is now. About ready for opening kick. It's a cloudy, overcast, fairly breezy night, but very pleasant. We've had really some fairly good luck other than the lightning delay the other night for soccer. Saw that the last time the Bears played on this field. We had a lightning delay. The stadium lights went out. About anything that could have delayed the game that night did, so hopefully things run a little bit smoother tonight. There's really no weather in the forecast, so if that holds true, we should be in the clear for a clean 90 minutes tonight.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. Like you said, nice and breezy, cooled off a little bit. Really moving into that fall weather.
Yeah, it's feeling nice.
Love some good fall weather. Soccer weather for you.
It feels like a Michigan fall day right now.
I've never been to Michigan, but this feels like a New York fall day.
It's basically the same climate, right?
Yeah. I don't know, is it?
Same latitude.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it latitude or longitude? I think latitude.
I think latitude because longitude. Yeah.
Yep. Bears in their whites. Francis Marion in the navy blue with the red. Call that a stripe. Kind of fades into red down the shoulder and the side. Patriots have played. They play in Conference Carolinas during the season. That's their league. But they've played a couple of SAC opponents already. Catawba and Limestone, who comes here on Saturday to take on the Bears. And it has not gone well for Francis Marion in those two games against SAC opponents. They lost 4-0 to Catawba, who's a perennially strong women's soccer program. The Bears had a very dramatic win against them in the conference tournament in the spring. And Limestone, who comes in here Saturday, that was a 5-0 decision in favor of Limestone. So
the Catawba LR game was a great one. Always a good battle with them.
This is Allie Zuger.
Offsides.
And O'Leary was offside there in front of the keeper, Willits. But feels like the Bears were just missing a little piece offensively in that game against North Greenville that you and I did last week. And maybe Allie Zuger didn't play in that one. Maybe she can be the difference tonight.
She brings a lot of speed along that side between her and Kara Gavigan on either side there. I think that's going to be really good for the Bears. Give them a little bit more speed going up the side and just a different look.
Here's Nev Dustin. Head coach said she was the best player. Oh, and she almost opened the scoring less than 2 minutes in. Just narrowly missed the left post, but that's perfectly what Gary Higgins said to me today in preparation for this game. They've had so many good offensive chances over the past couple games, but the closer they've got to the net, the more jittery they've been. They've rushed a lot of shots, and maybe that was the case there for Nev.
And, Nev's kind of transitioned into that defensive center mid role. Last year she played up top for the Bears. So I think that's also been an adjustment for her, but she's a dangerous player with the ball at her foot, and I think if we can get it to her and switch the ball through her, we'll see some success moving into the final third.
So throw-in on the far side. Steph Figuerito will take it.
One of those long corner kick-like throw-ins.
She always is the one taking these. Tries to get it into Vivian Becker-Peralta, another name that Gary Higgins mentioned today, that she's just a freshman. You look at her, she's got the physique of not somebody who's just coming out of high school. I mean, she's strong, she's fast, she's athletic.
She's a tank.
Yeah, and he said that he's been just tickled with her performance. Says she's playing like a seasoned vet. Sharia Acton, Silent Assassin, as she's known. 4 game-winning goals out of 11 total games in the spring for Rhea.
Unfortunate touch there by Steph. Rolls right out of bounds off her foot.
She rolled her eyes in disgust with herself. You could see that from up here where we're sitting.
Yeah, I might have too. Unfortunate, but Bears get it back here. Look to transition.
Taylor's pass nearly got intercepted there, but the Bears get it back. Allie Zuger on that far side starts in place of Gavigan, but I'm sure we'll see Kara at some point tonight. Bears are pretty healthy.
Oh,
here's a great touch
great
on the inside, and the first goal of the night. Leonie Proessel gets her second of the season. And a good welcome home for the Bears. Looked like she was close to being offside, but she was just perfectly in line with that back line and buried it with the left foot.
And that was a great hold by her, as you can see on our Spangler replay. She held that line perfectly. Great touch and just pokes it right over the goalkeeper.
So the 4th goal of the Bears season, 2 to Proessel, freshman from Germany, and 2 to O'Leary, freshman from Walnut Cove, North Carolina. It's kind of a bizarre trend. First scoring of the season all belongs to the freshman, but certainly a welcome sight for Gary Higgins. Got to think if you're Francis Marion, there's got to be some type of quick response here. Don't want to let things snowball here early on the road. There's a misstep in front of the net, but Acton able to clear it. Rhea from England is the most soft-spoken person on this team, maybe this entire athletic department. It's Louise Berg. Haven't said her name much. She didn't play the other night against North Greenville, but Danny, good for the Bears to get a quick start here at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice quick goal. Again, Leonie did such a great job of holding her line there, making sure she wasn't offsides again. and she was rewarded by that. It takes a smart player to recognize that line is pulling up and you need to hold on a little bit longer before you make that run. And she did that perfectly.
Maddie Kyle, one of the captains.
There we go, playing right through Nev.
That was the key. Here's a bump and run for O'Leary.
Another great hold.
Proessel's right there in the middle if she wants her. Sends it back to Rhea Acton, who spins one just wide. Tried to bend it in, but just snuck it over the corner. The intersection between the crossbar and the goalpost there, but a good run offensively there for the Bears.
And Rhea can really put some spin on the ball. She loves taking it and going opposite upper 90 and just spinning it right into that spot.
Seems to just be a lot more space tonight than there was the other night against North Greenville. Here's Acton again. As a center, and Figuerito overran it. A little bit off with the timing there.
The Patriots don't seem to be pressing the Bears as high as North Greenville was, which I think is giving us more time to be composed on the ball and possess it a little bit more. Allie Zuger over there, she wants it. She's wide open.
It's a good tackle/pass there for Nev.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, Maddie Kyle's taking longer run than she normally does, and O'Leary not close on that one.
And that's something I loved in the spring is how much Maddie Kyle overlapped that outside mid and how they have the ability to push both her and Rhea up the sideline, and just makes them it makes them dangerous because you have your outside mids who can attack, but you also have your outside defenders that can get the ball and go up the sideline and give you a good cross.
Kayla Willits is the keeper for Frances Marion. She's a junior from Mastic, New York, so a fellow New Yorker there, Danny.
Can't beat a good New Yorker.
Probably is a very angry driver.
Are you trying to imply something?
No, I think it's a little bit more than an implication.
So you're saying my driving
I'm
is
just
bad.
saying New Yorkers in general, and I think you fit that stereotype.
I'm going to remember that next time we're on the golf cart together.
Well, which is going to be in like 2 hours, maybe less.
I think my mom would agree with you that I can be a little bit of an aggressive driver, but, you know.
Well, it's just the New Yorker in you. I can't blame her.
I guess so. New Jersey's worse, though.
There's a header.
Oof.
Proessel almost had her second of the night, but O'Leary keeps it alive. This one's in the middle, and Becker Peralta swung and missed. Zuger popped it way over the net, but the chances are there right now for the Bears, and there's a lot of high-quality ones early on.
And like you said before, the Bears have a lot more time on the ball, so I think that's going to give them more opportunity to get good crosses and have a little bit extra time in the box and make some contact and put some in the back of the net.
Becker Peralta gets bumped by Jarvis down there on the far side. It's a good physical play from Lalandra Jarvis, a freshman from Jackson, South Carolina. He's from Jackson, South Carolina, but went to school at Aquinas High School in Augusta, Georgia. It's a pretty famous golf course in Augusta, Georgia. It's one of my goals in life, to get on that course someday.
For me, I think I would just go watch. I'm not very good at golf.
Neither am I, but
I miss the ball a lot.
uh-oh. Here's a push to the corner. Maddie Kyle there with forward, but a pretty physical play there by Brenna McCombs.
Good clear by Nev, right into the feet of Proessel.
Ooh, Proessel runs into the defender there. Dale McEwen gets whistled for the foul, but looked like she was just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. McEwen, who led Frances Marion with 5 points in the spring. She's on the ball right there. 2 goals to her name and an assist. this is a Francis Marion team, as I mentioned in the open. In their last 13 games, have scored 9 goals, and that's just not going to get the job done.
There's that speed of Allie Zuger. Unfortunate give and go there between her and Leone, but she has that speed to just push it past the defender and go, and she's gone in the blink of an eye.
Allie's from South Dakota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, came into LR from South Dakota State, so she was playing at the D1 level out of high school. Good defense there from Acton to take it from 2 different Patriots.
The Bears are putting really good pressure here, which is why they're getting these turnovers.
Here comes Allie Zuger down the far side. Tries to bump it past one, but can't get it past McEwen.
A little bit heavy of a touch, but again, there's that speed. She had Leone on her left if she wanted to give and go with her.
Maddie Kyle will take this throw in. Maddie's another transfer. 2 stalwarts on that far side of the field, Zuger and Kyle, both transferred in from D1 programs. Mentioned Zuger from South Dakota State, Kyle from Campbell.
It's a dangerous spot. If we can get this in the back of the box on Vivian's head, it could be a dangerous goal. She's got that height and that size.
Pretty spread out set piece for the Bears. Rhea Acton will take it. Off of Figuerito's head, but a little bit wide. How many of those have the Bears had in the first 13 minutes? Near misses on each side of the post.
Great spot for Steph to be in. Right place. Good redirection with her head. Fortunately, just a little bit wide.
She swung and missed there, but it went right to Proessel. And scooped up by Michaela Willits. But first 14-ish minutes have been played right in front of Michaela Willits. Jarvis gives it right back to the Bears on the far side. Goal less than 5 minutes into the game by Leone Proessel, freshman from Germany. The difference right now, this one's won by Francis Marion. Becker Peralta circles it.
The Bears have had 7 shots, with their lone goal being the only one on goal so far, but still 7 shots in about 15 minutes of play to the Patriots' 1 shot.
Bears had 33 shots last week against North Greenville, and only just the 1 goal, but 7 of those 33 made it onto the net. But 33 shots seems like a huge number.
It is.
It was a double overtime game.
It was.
It's 110 minutes, so that lends itself to a little more shots. But
to have 1 goal and you took that many shots, it explains why Coach Higgins is very persistent about wanting to finish in the final third and have that composure.
Basically makes his point for him, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Rhea Acton sneaking down the near side.
Unfortunate touch there.
Ellie Ray, the defender, outsized, but made a good play. Bears wanted maybe a handball down there as
I think they were looking for the corner.
Faith Allen was the defender right there for Francis Marion. Louise Berg. She's a big physical presence. This back line is just physically imposing for the Bears. You got Peralta and Berg.
Yes,
Allie Zuger with a takeaway. Gets tackled.
Not quite sure what she was trying to do there, though, but
And a
it
late
worked in
whistle.
her favor.
It was a very late whistle, but she gets the call. So another chance just outside the 18 for the Bears. Nev Dustin with the cornrows today. It's a little bit of a change up with the hairstyle.
I like it.
It's very Florida.
It's very Nev.
Acton chips it in, but pretty easy there for Willits. That is very Nev, you're right.
Just spunky and fun.
Gary Higgins had very high compliments for Nev's play so far through 3 games today when we talked. So she's playing deeper at midfield. Zuger just got boxed out that time by J.G. Guerin. Evan O'Leary.
Bears are starting to hold on to it just a little bit too long, taking an extra touch or two. I'd like to see them get it off their foot a little faster as the defenders close in on them.
Figuerito tried to head that one, but a little bit too tall for her off the foot of Acton. And a goal kick for Francis Marion. Patriots coming here from Florence, South Carolina. That's a good 3.5, 4-hour trek. Up I-95 and over on I-26, I think. I'm finally learning my southern highways.
I've lived here for 5 years and I don't know them. So kudos, Eric.
Thank you. It's a skill I pride myself in.
I can tell you where to go and how to get somewhere, but street names is something that I struggle with.
You know, Hickory, the town of Hickory has really kind of ruined my pride as, like, I thought that I was a pretty direction-savvy person.
Well, all the roads here are named the same.
Yeah, there's like
but then
4
there's
8th streets.
8th Street, Northeast Drive,
Yeah.
and Street, and Avenue, and they all... If you want to learn the streets in Hickory, talk to Aaron Brock.
Okay, there's
a method to the drives and the streets and the avenues.
Aaron Brock, Senior Associate AD. And there's the thing that gets me are the one-ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just random one-ways. It's like a spider's web of roads in Hickory. Proessel and Acton not on the same page there.
Mm-mm.
Pretty sloppy turnover near midfield. Good touch there from Acton to get it back to O'Leary.
Let's see if...
Oh, right off the back of Figuerito, off the foot of Dustin.
Nev had Allie wide open on that far side. Would have been a perfect switch. A little bit too much traffic on this near side.
Seems like there's been a lot of room for Allie Zuger on that far side.
Oh, yeah.
The
her
entire
defender.
20 minutes we played so far.
Yeah, her defender is way off of her. I would like to see Nev punch that. At least in that direction. Maddie Kyle can take care of it.
Here's Zuger. Gets deep, centers it up. Figuerito can't do anything with it. Kyle can, maybe, but cleared out of there by McEwen. But it'll stay with the Bears deep in the zone.
You can see the frustration on Steph there. Just great tee up by Allie. She's in the right spot. She's had a couple chances, but just hasn't been able to put one away yet.
Gary Higgins, we talked about their trip. It was they made a little bit of a team bonding experience out of the trip down to Florida. Had a beach day in Melbourne after the game. That was on Sunday. The Bears played on Friday, and then Saturday was the beach day. But that was a dangerous pass there by the defender, Jade Taylor, back to the keeper, Willits. This was kind of a scorcher into Willits, and she obviously can't pick it up with her hands.
Yeah.
There's a shot and a good save by Willits, diving towards the middle. Acton gets it back, tries to keep some pressure. O'Leary probably should have just shot it.
Yeah,
she tried to pass it back to Acton, and it went off the defender.
She might have seen something different from down there, but I think if she had smacked that with her left foot, she could have had a scoring opportunity.
But more of the same for the Bears. Proessel buried that first opportunity, but how many more quality chances have there been since then?
Quite a few.
This is the type of game where, with Limestone coming in here on Saturday, that'll be a good challenge for both the men and the women Bears soccer teams.
And opening conference play as well.
We'll have both of those back-to-back for you right here on the Bears Sports Network. Danny and I in the women's game first, and then myself and Jacob Parkinson making his Bears Sports debut. Bears Talk Live tomorrow. Volleyball against Coker at home tomorrow night. Huge win for the volleyball team last night. First time they've beaten Wingate in almost 5 years.
Great 5-set thriller there.
They'll be back in action tomorrow night against Coker at home. Game 2 on the new floor in the shoe. Not a whole lot going on defensively right now for the Bears. See if Nev Dustin can flip the field here. And they go back to the Patriots.
I think the Bears are really trying to force up this left side of the field where you have Ali Zuger wide open on the far side. Pull it back if you don't have options going forward, and let's switch the field and play into the space.
Grayson Cameron with a touch, reigning SAC Defensive Player of the Week. She quite literally saved the game against North Greenville here last week. Couple of highly difficult saves that kept the game tied. It was a draw for the Bears and very easily could have been a loss if not for Cameron.
Yeah, Grayson is a stud back there. She doesn't let very many things past her.
And talked with Gary Higgins about her today, and obviously, like you said, she's a stud physically and can make high degree of difficulty saves, but it's her mental ability and her leadership vocally back there that is just as valuable, if not more valuable, to this coaching staff.
Absolutely, and those are the key qualities of a great goalkeeper. You have to be able to communicate. You see the entire field, and you can really move your players and help them strategize because of the view that you have.
She's still, the ball is 2/3 of the way down the field right now. You can't see her in frame, but she's outside of the 18 just barking out at her defense.
She is the commander of the field.
The one goal that you see on the scoreboard came less than 5 minutes into this game. If you're just joining us, Leonie Proessel picked up her second goal of the season and second goal of her young Bear career. See Scarlett Kelly warming up down there. I think that's Kara Gavigan with her. Kara Gavigan's
checking in for
comes in
Allie
right now for Zuger. So, like we predicted.
You want to know what's so great about this Bears team? They are so deep.
They are.
Think about who just came in for Allie.
Here's a run for Proessel. Already has one. Chips it over to O'Leary, who buries it. The freshmen combine for another, and it's 2-0 Bears. Francis Marion pleading with the referees that they were offside, but
if you see our Spangler replay here, great long ball out of the back by Maddie Kyle. Leone, again, holding her offsides, sees the goalkeeper coming out and just slots it over to O'Leary, who has wide open space and can just pop it right in the back of the net. Oh, shoot.
They wiped it off. They decided
offsides.
That it was offside. The referee went to talk to the linesman down there on the far side, and they wiped off the goal.
I wonder who they called offsides, too. Was it O'Leary or was it Proessel?
It looked like Proessel maybe was offside before she touched it.
It was tight, but also they were behind the defenders, and she passed it off to O'Leary, too, so...
It was almost like the referee was trying to, pull one over without people realizing the ball went in the net. Like, oh, we're going to wipe this goal off and just keep playing.
Yeah.
It was very discreet.
Strange. Yeah.
It was a very discreet wipe off of a goal by this officiating crew.
Clearly, we had no idea what was happening.
I'm staring at them the whole time, and all of a sudden...
It's a goal kick.
Michaela Willits is taking a goal kick. Like, oh, all right.
I'm sure Gary is not
Well, and that's
happy
the
with
second goal in as many games that's been taken off the board by an offside call. Bears would have won the game at Florida Tech if not for an offside.
Great take there by Kara Gavigan. Proessel almost gets in front of the goalkeeper and pops it near post, but can't quite get it.
So still only 1-0. It was a really good combo there from Proessel to O'Leary for what we thought was the second goal. It was just a bizarre turn of events. I think if you made me decide, I would say that the refs got it right, that the Bears were offside.
I agree. Still unfortunate because it was beautiful.
But just the way that it went down was bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
There was no signal, no anything.
And the line judge was late on the call.
No, and he was staring right at it and never raised the flag. So it was a very weird sequence. Francis Marion, though, it's a little bit of life out of it. Here comes Nev. Cornrows and all.
Great decision there. Nothing in front of her, no options. Let's pull it back. Let's switch the field, and let's shift the defense, see if we can find something to move forward. Mac's been a little quiet tonight, too. Haven't seen her on the ball too much.
Mac, meaning Amanda McFarland. Good job there by Vivian. Got bumped and fouled. J.G. Guerin whistled there.
I feel like you're not going to see her on the ground very much.
No. Takes a lot more than a stiff breeze to knock her over.
Great cut back.
Rhea Acton, she's had a lot of good chances here in this first half. See if she can make the most of the one. O'Leary gets blocked. Here's Mac. Amanda McFarland, like you said.
The Patriots are like, I just need to get this out of our defensive third. Let's push up. Let's put some pressure on this defensive line and take a breather. Oh, great ball there. See if O'Leary can run it down.
She can.
Great save.
She's speedy.
She's gonna shoot
Rhea Acton got to shoot it and left it wide. Proessel tried to heel it behind her, but
very odd.
Looked like she was trying to pass.
Yeah, very odd sequence there. I'm not sure if that was a pass or a mistouch.
Looked like a pass to me.
A weird shot, I don't know, but Proessel with the scorpion.
But if it was a pass, she definitely kicked it too hard.
Yeah, and it definitely should have been a shot, in my opinion.
No, I'm right there with you. It's the second or third time tonight we've said that a Bear close to the net has passed when they should have shot. And Gary Higgins said that to me today. He said, we need to be more selfish, which is a good problem to have if you're a coach. But still, the results are what they are, and the Bears are not scoring as many goals as they should be at this point in the season.
Yeah. And that might just be them, feeling out some new positions, feeling out some new players, still trying to build that connection, but they're going to need to figure it out as we enter into conference play.
Bears dropped out of the United Soccer Coaches Top 25. I've never seen a poll that fluctuates more than that one. I mean, the Bears didn't lose, and they drew against a high-quality opponent in Florida Tech and went from number 11 to unranked. Rhea Acton pulls one from outside. That's the mentality that Gary Higgins wants to see, though, and just another narrow miss there for Rhea Acton.
And I was talking to assistant coach Carrie Maxwell yesterday, and she's like, in practice we've just been shooting drills, just trying to find the frame and find that rhythm of let's take a shot and put it in the big white frame.
The goal looks microscopic right now to the Bears, and that's a mental thing as much as it is a physical thing.
Absolutely.
Steph Figuerito, been a while since we said her name.
It was a great cutback, unfortunately. Got a little bit too far off her foot. Couldn't get it back.
It's the long-legged Kara Gavigan there on the far side. She's speedy.
This might be...
I think it's Jessica Carmichael. Yep. Junior midfielder from Dripping Springs, Texas. She kick-started that first goal at Pembroke, the first goal of the season. That was by Proessel, who has the goal tonight. Over 30 into this first half. Bears hold a lead on the scoreboard and a huge advantage in shots.
And the Patriots seem to be putting a little bit more pressure on the Bears' defensive line, which is benefiting them because the Bears have struggled under pressure in these past few games.
It's very much been a bend but don't break defense, which is how Gary Higgins wants to play. Peralta, she's just been snuffing people out. Carmichael with some fresh legs just into the game. Carmichael scored the only goal of her career in the conference and season opener in the spring. It was against Lincoln Memorial last March.
Actually, technically last year it was a conference game, but it didn't count towards our conference record because of our pods.
I forgot about that. So the Lincoln Memorial was not in LR's pod.
Correct.
It was what? LR, Newberry,
Catawba,
Queens.
Queens was not in our pod because we played them in the conference championship.
Queens is the closest school to Hickory.
Yes.
We have something.
Probably just a foul.
I didn't see any contact, but I guess the referees, hasn't exactly been the clearest job of communication by the officiating crew tonight.
Yeah.
Wiped a goal off the board for the Bears because of an offside. Berg heads that one out deeper in the zone.
Definitely understand why she looked to just, pop that one out of bounds, slow things down, let the Bears defense reset, but I feel like there was enough time and space where she could have turned that, found either Grayson Cameron or Vivian Becker, and they could have looked to keep that in and switch the point of attack.
Dangerous there as that one went off of McFarland, who's still...
I wonder if that hit her in the face.
Looked like maybe it hit her in the back. Was she facing?
I don't know what happened so
Berg
fast.
When that happened?
I feel like she's holding her face. I want to say it's either her gut or her face. She keeps bending over.
Her headband fell off and is getting readjusted. It's something to do with something between the ears.
We call that a head.
Thank you. I was just trying to come up with a creative way to say it.
I just like to call you out. Bears aren't really giving her much.
Cameron goes for the aggressive play. Tried to get it deep to Proessel. Didn't quite work out. Taking the throw in is Anna Capra, senior from High Point.
That was a close one.
Proessel boxed out of there by Taylor.
Bears really need to get this ball out of pressure. They're not checking their shoulder. They're not turning. Excuse me. They're not checking their shoulder, and they're turning into the defender and just turning the ball over. Need to get it out of pressure. Use Nev just like they are. Switch the point of attack and get it out of pressure. Looks like a handball, but lucky for Kara Gavigan, she gets her foot on it.
Gavigan into the box, surrounded by blue jerseys.
Hit that.
Leaves it for O'Leary.
Probably had the chance to one-time that one.
Just feels like somebody in this Bears offense needs to just rip one.
Yeah,
and
I
just,
agree.
If the whole team sees that and sees one find the back of the net on a one-timer or something like that, it feels like that might snap the Bears out of this funk they're in close to the net.
Absolutely. This looks like a big game of keep away.
Yeah, it does.
It's like those games that they play in practice where you got to connect a certain amount of passes before you can go forward, but once we go forward, we can't find the back of the net.
Carmichael in the corner. O'Leary, whose goal got wiped off. Acton's had some chances. There's the one-timer! The silent assassin gets her first of 2021.
That was a great shot. And just like you said, that's what we needed. We needed her to rip one through and put it in the back of the net.
Take a look at our Spangler replay.
Just great footwork by Rhea, and loves pushing it to that right side and just banging it in the corner there.
That was timed perfectly there by Rhea Acton.
Absolutely. She heard us talking.
She did. Tied for the sack lead in goals with 7 in the spring. Picks up her first here in the traditional fall season. It's a 2-goal first half for the Bears. Comes Nev, right down the heart of the field. Gives it to Carmichael on the outside. A little bit of a long touch. And the first corner of the game coming up. That one was off the backside of Anna Capra. She threw herself in front of that centering pass. Maybe the monkey's off the Bears' back offensively after that goal.
Guess we'll see here, see if we can get a set-piece goal.
Acton in the corner. Here they come. Good D that time by Frances Marion to be in the right place. Is that a handball?
I'm not sure.
It's the second time that we've seen a whistle, and I really have no explanation as to why we saw it.
Girls are saying that they called an offsides.
I never saw anyone's flag up.
Same.
Carmichael passes it to nobody.
I think her communication with Nev was a little off there. She was looking for Nev to make that run, and she did not. So it'll be a Bears throw in here.
Anna McFarland from beautiful Jacksonville, North Carolina, my home for this past summer.
Love to see Nev just rip one.
Here she comes. She rips one, but it gets turned away by Willits, but another corner.
That's the spark that the Bears need. They need to just take the ball and just fire those shots in. Because once you start putting actual pressure on the goalie and getting more shots on goal, the goalkeeper's going to make a mistake at some point.
I would say that the two that Willits has let past her, she didn't really have much of a chance on. But she's been solid in
Absolutely.
the rest of the game. Acting a corner from the far side this time. See if the Bears can get something. Peralta's there in the middle. There's a scramble, and Willits, with her heels on the goal line, scoops it up. Not much space to waste there for the Francis Marion keeper.
Very well done by Willits. It's hard when the ball is right in your face. You have defenders and offense running in and out of your space. Very clean save by her.
Her counterpart, Grayson Cameron, chases this one down to the edge of the 18. Just over 4 minutes to go in this first half. I still can't get over how well she does bouncing that when she punts off the bounce.
Nice little drop kick.
Guess I never thought of doing that before back in my youth soccer days.
I don't think you're allowed to. You're allowed to punt at a young age. They don't allow you to do
like
that until like
10U. You can.
No. I guess it depends. Maybe
you've
in
never
Michigan.
been to Michigan, so
I was gonna say maybe in Michigan, but when I coached over in Charlotte, they weren't allowed to punt until I want to say.
Oh, you have
U12.
some coaching experience, huh?
The little ones, they're sponges. They love to soak up the knowledge, and they're a good time.
Small doses of little kids for me.
Yeah. Coaching definitely puts a different perspective on the game. You almost have to relearn certain aspects because you're looking at it through a different lens, and especially with the young ones, you got to frame it so that they understand, and you can't just say, go do this.
Yeah. It's not like Gary Higgins can with these girls.
Right, because they've had that upbringing of they know the game. They've had those coaches at a young age that have taught them those things that allow them to compete at a high level here.
I'm picturing you just on the sideline just ripping somebody.
As a coach?
Yeah. I was picturing you coaching older players, though, as opposed to, I don't think you'd rip the little kids.
No, but the referees, there were a lot of referees I didn't agree with as a coach and a player. But I did have to watch myself with my little ones.
Yeah, don't want to set that example.
Exactly. It's
another solid job there by Michaela Willits. Snatch that centering pass out of the air. We're under 2 in the first half. Goal less than 5 minutes in by Proessel. Goal with less than 10 minutes to go in the half by Acton. The 2 on the board for the Bears. See if the Bears can get one more run before halftime. Proessel tried to pop it over to Carmichael, but defense was there. Yep.
Smart here by Rhea to just take it, turn it, and find Luis. See if we can get a better look going forward in the final minute.
1 minute remaining.
will stay with the Bears as Kara Gavigan gave it a run with under a minute to go. Nifty footwork there by Nev on the far side. She gets tripped up and no whistle. Might have stepped on the ball.
Yeah. See what the Patriots can do here in the counter.
Rhea Acton just faster than the Patriot players there.
O'Leary just needs to let that ball go just a tad sooner.
10, 9, we're under 10. 7, 6. By all accounts, a very good first half at home for the Bears in their final tune-up before conference play begins. The preseason #1 team in the SAC holds a 2-0 lead over Francis Marion at the break. 15 minutes till the second half. We'll step aside here on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Celebrate great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Welcome back to this presentation of the South Atlantic Conference on the Bears Sports Network. It's a good first half for the Bears. Picked up a goal early in the half, picked up a goal late in the half. Hold a 2-0 lead over Francis Marion in this final non-conference tune-up before conference play begins here on Saturday against Limestone. But Danny, it was good to see Rhea Acton there towards the end of the half just rip one past the goalkeeper for the Bears' second goal.
Absolutely, and like you had alluded to, literally right before she got that goal, was the Bears just need to get it and take a shot. They're holding onto the ball just a little bit too much, which is causing them to turn it over and allow that Patriots defense to strip them of it. So I think if we can hold on to the ball just a little bit less and take more productive shots on goal, we'll find some more success in the second half.
Starting the second half at forward is Scarlett Kelly, junior from Bromley, England, wearing number 17. There's going left to right here in the second. Nev Dustin immediately with a chance. Gets it ahead to Kelly.
Scarlett and Nev are the two best friends that you could ever have.
Scarlett right on top of the goal there. Just missed the crossbar with that shot.
I think if the Bears can keep this pressure on and not let off the gas like they have, they're going to find some success. If they just keep pounding the ball down into their defensive third, something good will come their way.
Abby Biddle is also in the game for the first time for the Bears. Where's number 8 just off the ball there. It's a good pass out of the goal that time for Willits. And here's a run coming for Ambria Hills. Pokes that one in, but an easy one for Grayson Cameron. But that's the first time she's had to stop a shot on goal tonight. Sure-handed senior from right here in Hickory started off her collegiate soccer career at NC State and ended up back home here in net for the Bears.
Really came full circle.
Yeah.
Great touch.
And there's the defender for Francis Marion that time. Anna Capra got enough of a foot on it to prevent Gavigan from really being able to get out ahead of her. Francis Marion trying to avoid getting shut out for the 4th time in a row to start the season. They've yet to have a goal in this 2021 fall season.
And that's tough. That's tough on your goalkeeper. It's tough on your defensive line to have stats like that.
Head coach Chelsea Parker over there trying to will her team to some offense. Gary Higgins was complimentary of her today, the way that their program is run in Francis Marion. But it's got to be teetering on the brink of desperation time if you're Francis Marion, just to got to find a way to see one in the back of the net. Can only talk about it so much. It actually has to happen, you know?
Absolutely.
Kind of like the Bears.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's hard when you're doing the right things and you just can't seem to find success. And I would say Francis Marion, they're doing the right things. They're finding spots where they can play through to each other and look to go forward and advance towards the goal. Just unfortunate that they haven't been able to put one away.
Becker Peralta easily takes that one. Gavigan fights right by the sideline and gets fouled that time by Jordan White.
I think that was a little bit of a frustration foul from White.
White, a freshman from Summerville, South Carolina. Acton maybe misplayed that one a little bit. So McCombs was able to center it up, but Grayson Cameron right there. Look at her just gesture and say, what are we doing? Scarlett Kelly, she's one of the burners in this front line attack.
Good footwork and a strong presence for that front line.
She's just so physically assertive, too. Very strong. One of Trent Caldwell's favorites. Caldwell, the head strength and conditioning coach for LR Athletics.
Good change of direction there. Bears doing a good job being more patient, just working it around that back line, waiting for the defense to shift and open something up for them.
It was right about this point. Here's Gavigan. Gets in onside, very deep. Waited too long, though.
Told you, they're holding on to the ball too long. She had
Rip it.
She was in a great spot. Just slot that back post as the goalkeeper comes across the net, and you have yourself a goal.
I was a below-average soccer player back in my day, but one of my strengths was I was not afraid to fire it from anywhere.
I would love to see you kick a soccer ball.
You make me out to be this like unathletic person.
I've seen your dance moves.
Well, that doesn't make me unathletic.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm just a bad dancer.
But your dance moves
yeah.
make you look unathletic.
Yeah.
But I would like to see you kick a soccer ball. Reach out at practice.
I own the fact that I'm a bad dancer, but
you have to. If you know you're bad, you have to own it, because that's what makes it fun.
Right. And I will not accept the slander of being unathletic, though.
I mean, I never said that. You put those words in my mouth.
I know, it was implied.
We'll come out to practice and
tell me the time, the place. I'll be there.
Could do like a staff soccer game.
Not sure we'd have many volunteers.
Yeah, because they'd be afraid they would lose to us.
Well, soccer's a lot of running, too.
It's fair. The track coaches might be in for it.
The cross-country team, they'll be here. It's a long throw from Jordan White. To get it into Jarvis, who gives Peralta a little bit of a shove in the small of her back.
Good pressure there by Nev, not letting the offensive player turn there.
Takeaway by Maddie Kyle. Tries to start a run. White giving chase. Carmichael on the outside. Acton doesn't break stride. See if she gets it to her. She pops one.
It's the right idea, though, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to get shots off. Just, need them on frame.
We'd be hypocritical if we criticized that shot.
Yes. I think the early ball in is also there, especially when it's on the far side. I think Scarlett's got lots of space on this backside, and if you can give that ball a little bit early, drop it over that back line, you could find something there too.
Scarlett Kelly was offside there. She didn't quite get back in time. As she crossed back, she touched it, I think. coming back. I don't know what exactly the rule is if you're offside.
So when the ball is kicked, if you are on the backside of the defender,
Yeah.
you are offside.
And even if you get legal and you touch it, you're still
So
offside.
if you come back before the ball is kicked and then go, you're fine. But you have
gotcha.
to be on the front side of the defender.
Kelly was not there.
Correct.
That was why that was called.
She was probably in motion to come back,
Yeah.
but wasn't quite there before contact was made.
Cameron unhappy with that boot, but it worked out. Ended up at the feet of Nev Dustin.
Let's give it up.
Kara Gavigan on the near side. She got an even better chance than this earlier, but good job on the tackle there by Jordan White to force
a corner.
Right. Thought for a moment that I saw the line judge signal that it was a goal kick, but it certainly looked like it was off of Frances Marion, and it is.
Absolutely.
Third corner of the game for the Bears. They have yet to really do anything off of them. Acton's taken all three, including this one.
Oh.
Off the hip of Gavigan, but right there is Willits.
That was a great run by Gavigan. Lots of power off the stomach area.
Off the pelvis.
Yeah. It's those abs of steel.
That's right.
From our strength and conditioning coaches.
Right back to the Bears. Seems like anytime Frances Marion gets quality touch, that is a great touch there from Scarlett Kelly to find Carmichael on the far side, but she pushes off and gets whistled for it.
Unfortunate there.
What a pass, though, by Kelly. That might have been the best pass of the whole night for the Bears.
Absolutely great vision and contact on the ball.
Basically a perfect night weather-wise. It was a little breezy at kickoff, but the breeze has calmed down. Fairly overcast afternoon, but no threat of rain.
Thank gosh.
It's about low 70s right now. Can't ask for a better night for soccer, for any sport, really. Acton stumbles, still has it. Kelly had a chance to shoot, didn't. Gets it off to Abby Biddle, and a diving stop made there by Willits. Might have gone wide of the net, but still very athletic. Willits has kept Frances Marion within striking distance in this game.
Absolutely. She's done a stellar job. Just come up with a couple big saves. But great work there by the Bears to work it around the box, but I think they could have gotten a shot off a little sooner. Just like you said, Gary said, they look to share the ball too much, which can be detrimental.
Felt like Scarlett Kelly was the guilty party of that mindset on that last exchange.
Agreed. I will say that we're connecting on more passes this game than we did in the North Greenville game.
Well, and it's easier as there's a foul there on Frances Marion's Dale McEwen. Kelly ends up on her back, but it's easier to pull a team back this way as far as selfishness goes than it is to push the other way. I'd rather be too unselfish than too selfish.
Yes.
Once the Bears get into the nitty-gritty of conference play in the games against Queens and Catawba and this upcoming weekend with Limestone, it's going to have to be the right mix of aggressiveness versus unselfishness inside the box offensively for the Bears.
Because once you start playing those teams, that they're not going to lay back and let you hold the ball. They're going to put pressure, and they're going to go and they're going to score goals.
Abby Biddle
Something I love about this Bears team is the speed that we have on the wings, but sometimes I feel like as we move into our attacking third, our opposite outside mid stays a little too wide, where sometimes I think they could make a run in front of their defender, and we could find them over the top of the goalkeeper, or over top the defensive line.
Kelly onside, pokes it past the goalie, and
Stop the clock.
we have a foul. Is this on Willits coming out?
And a yellow card.
Yellow card, wow.
We're going to have a penalty kick.
It's the first card of the night either way. I didn't quite entirely see the contact between Willits and Kelly, but apparently it was there because Kelly got Charlie horse by it, and Rhea Acton will take it. Already has 1 goal tonight, and now has 2. She goes top shelf on the PK for a 3-0 lead for the Bears.
And Rhea, I'm pretty sure she had 5 or so penalty kicks in the spring season as well. As you can see the Spangler replay here. But she's their go-to, and this shows you exactly why.
It's unstoppable.
Absolutely.
Nothing Willits can do. I mean, goalies are guessing on PKs anyway, but when you go top shelf like that, Rhea had 7 goals to tie for the SAC lead in the spring. Picks up numbers 1 and 2 of this season tonight. Good to see her get going offensively before conference play arrives. Somebody's down. Nev Dustin is down. That is not a good sign if you're a Bear fan. Holding that left knee, calling the trainers out. Just kind of fairly routine play. Got tangled up there. But I think it's just a cramp. Katrina DeVore, the associate athletic trainer, the new senior woman administrator for the Bear Athletic Department. Stretching Nev out there. Nev's a Florida native. Just went back to her home state this past weekend from Palm City. Honorable mention all SAC in the spring.
And the scorer of the game winner in the conference championship.
Yes, against your alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just a cramp, thankfully. Looked worse than that initially, but she gets stretched out and will come out. It's Emerson Talley that comes in for her. We're 35.
Ali Zuger is also back on the field for the Bears.
Talley hasn't seen hardly any playing time this year. But this is a perfect situation to get some less experienced people some time. Comfortable 3-0 lead at home. Maybe one of the last opportunities of the season as conference play kicks off on Saturday. And the SAC is as strong of a league as any in soccer.
Absolutely.
Probably the best. It's regarded as maybe the best soccer league in Division II. The Bears were picked to win it in the preseason poll.
But they'll face some tough competition along the way with Queens, with Catawba. Carson Newman is always a powerhouse. That's a great look there. And see, this is what I was talking about before. Allie's staying super wide,
so
looking for
wide.
the switch. But if she were to make that run just a little bit earlier, she could sneak in behind that line and get something going. Good stop there by Lewisburg.
This is in the box and fired high by Francis Marion. Bear football team back in action. Feels like an eternity since we've seen them on the field. They were off this past weekend after winning their opener at Virginia State back Labor Day weekend. Heading to Newberry. It's a trophy game. These two always play each other close. Played an overtime game in the spring. Excited to see where the Bears are. We'll have head coach Mike Jacobs on Bears Talk Live tomorrow afternoon from Blowing Rock Draft House. There's a foul on Jade Taylor for Francis Marion as Kelly goes down. She draws fouls maybe better than anyone on this team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not sure if that's
I don't know. It's pros and cons, right? Amanda McFarland, Louise Berg has it now. See if Zuger can make something happen. Kelly with a nifty move, but gets blocked out of there by Taylor.
I actually think that's Evan O'Leary on the far side.
It is, you're right. Zuger's on this near side. You can only see the second three. O'Leary's 33, Zuger's 23, and guessed wrong.
It happens. But Kelly, good job down on the end line, able to draw a corner for the Bears. As Figuerito checks back on for McFarland.
Yep, Steph didn't start the second half, but comes in here 27 and a half to go. Wearing that big knee brace.
Oh, yeah. Comeback Athlete of the Year last spring at the
It's a
BC.
scramble in front, and it ends up in the back of the net. Allie Zuger with the left foot cleans up the mess, and it's 4-0 LR. Francis Marion just couldn't get it out after the corner, and Zuger, the beneficiary, picks up her first of 2021.
Nice lofting corner there by Acton. A little bit of a scramble in the box, and Allie in the right place, right before the PK line around the 6-yard box, able to just slot that one away.
Bears had scored 3 goals in 3 games coming into this one and put up a 4 spot tonight with still lots of time to go, over 25 on the clock.
I'm sure Gary Higgins is becoming more pleased with his girls as they start to put some away and find some connection with each other in the final third.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Bears. Good confidence booster before the grueling sack season starts. It's about 2 months worth of high-pressure, high-quality opponents starting Saturday with Limestone coming in here.
It'll be fun to have our first doubleheader.
It will. Bear men on the road right now locked in a tight one with Young Harris. That's a top 20 matchup on the men's side. They're down in Georgia. First time they've been in action in a week and a half. They should be well rested.
Definitely good for their looming injuries
That's right.
they've had.
Jack Winter was thrilled they had that much time off. So Leary on the outside.
Offside.
And she was.
It was tight if she was.
Leary's hasn't been very aware of where she's been on the field tonight.
And that's something that's going to come and could bite them in the butt in those tight games as they progress through the season. Another foul. Came in with her arms out, right into the back.
starting to feel for Francis Marion. I mean, it's a good thing they don't play in the sack because they've played 3 sack opponents this year and been outscored 13-0 in those 3 games with still 25 minutes to go in this one.
Look at those wheels from Zuger.
Scarlett Kelly finds Kyle. What a pass.
Ball. Go get
Kyle
one.
pops it in. Biddle with a shot that gets deflected.
Here's the
by
life we've been
McEwen.
looking for, too. Now they're really starting to pound it in.
It's more aggressive. After that Acton goal, it's been different. Kyle goes down. Kelly.
Looking to draw that foul.
And can't. Look at her just giving. There's the con of her trying to draw fouls. Sometimes it works, but sometimes she takes herself right out of the play when it doesn't.
Absolutely.
Zuger gives it a run. Tries to get around and successfully does. Right on the net. Good save by Willits as Zuger almost had her second in less than 10 minutes.
Less than a minute.
Yeah, I would say less than 2 minutes.
Okay. We'll go with that. Tricky spot, though, right on the end line there. Goalkeeper Willits did a great job covering that near side post.
Yeah, the box score is going to show she gave up 4, maybe more, but I will contend that she has played a really good game tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Bears could have had a few more already on the board.
10-0.
Exactly. She's come up with some really big saves here. So kudos to her. And this Francis Marion team, they're not playing bad. They're moving the ball well. They're putting some pressure on the Bears that's making them uncomfortable. They just can't seem to connect in that final third.
The effort's there, too.
Absolutely.
It's not like they've given up. And we have a substitution, multiple substitutions. I think Becker Peralta's night is probably done. That's a smart move from Gary Higgins to get your center back out of there.
Absolutely.
Luis Berg almost got that one into Zuger, but a nice job there by Jordan White to prevent that from happening. But Zuger steals it back from her. Another chance on the far side, knocked up in the air by Willett. O'Leary couldn't bury it. Willett again, coming up big. And Guerin gets it out of there for now.
Even with some new players on the field, the Bears need to stay in control. They need to do what they're good at. They need to possess the ball and move it around and move Francis Marion from side to side and look to go north-south. North-south.
This is about the time the other night that the lights went out. I'm told that the timer is set to 1 a.m.
That was when we had the lightning delay.
Oh, right. The lights were in overtime.
Lots of light action.
But the timer is set to 1 a.m., so nobody worry.
Kate Casey with the ball over there, getting her first few minutes of the game. As well as Anna Schuler here, number 34.
I would think that just about everyone's going to see the pitch tonight for the Bears.
Ooh.
Oh, my. Hard collision there with Guerin.
Good job by Tally there to stand her ground and draw the foul. We have 4 freshmen on the field for the Bears. Lots of young talent here.
It's a good mix of experience versus talent, or versus youth, I should say.
Absolutely.
Not talent. They are both experienced and talented. Was Zuger misfires that one, and it'll be a goal kick for Francis Marion.
And having that young talent is great as well to go with that experienced talent, and they can kind of help those younger players grow into the collegiate game and kind of show them the ropes, but also gives the Bears a lot of depth.
But it's telling who's still out there with the young players. Steph Figuerito came in with the younger players.
Absolutely.
Rhea Acton's still back there.
Need that strong leadership on the field.
I would think that Nev Dustin would still be on there if she hadn't been cramping earlier.
Absolutely.
It's a good look for the Patriots down the far side, but can't keep it in bounds. It's Kate Casey back there, freshman from Bisco, NC.
Luis fires that one up the field at Allie.
Might have gotten away with a little bit of a shove there, but Steph Figuerito kicks it off of Faith Allen, who is still on the turf there for Francis Marion. Acton's out. Casey Levette is in. Biddle is out. Anna Grace Sumner is in. Taking this throw in is Anna Schuler, another freshman from Winston-Salem. Went to Ronald Wilson Reagan High School.
That's a mouthful.
Ronald Wilson. There's a miss by O'Leary. That's what I almost said. I almost said Ronald Wilson. Ronald Wilson Reagan.
Fast.
They must really like Ronald Reagan if they put his middle name in there. Corner kick. Steph Figuerito takes it. Trying to make this lead up to 5. Misses everybody there in the middle. But it'll stay deep on a throw in for the Bears on the far side. 17 minutes to go. All LR tonight. The final tune-up before Limestone comes in here on Saturday evening. Bear men have lost it was 0-0. Now it's 1-0. Young Harris in the 68th minute down there in Georgia.
That would be a big win for them. Good way to enter conference.
Have some work to do, though, down 1-0. Gotta think it's a little weird for them having so much time off after their opener. Some other teams, Young Harris has already played 4 games.
Definitely strange to have almost a week and a half off, but like we said, probably best for them dealing with injuries.
Juan Basabi not quite back yet.
But Camden Coleman is doing a great
Yes.
job.
Juan Basabi's actually sitting about 20 feet to our right here at this game. See if the Patriots can find the back of the net before this one's all said and done. White kind of concedes that run there.
I think she was trying to, lay it off at more of a flatter angle for her teammate there, but unfortunately just can't get the pass she wanted.
Anna Schuler. Cameron pops that one up. It's a pop up to shortstop there.
Off touch by Zuger as well. See if we can get this ball out of the defensive third. Oh, great 1-2 passes there.
Schuler did everything she could. Sumner wasn't able to get a good touch on it to pop it ahead to Kelly, who was open.
Zuger does a good job playing it back to Cameron here. Let the Bears reset, spread out, and move that ball back up the field.
Louise Berg, sophomore from Sweden. Is it Sweden or Switzerland that's always neutral? I think it's Switzerland.
It's Switzerland.
Yeah. I was going to make some joke about her being neutral about something, but that wouldn't have worked because she's from Sweden, not Switzerland. Scarlett Kelly, surrounded by blue jerseys, looks for another foul, doesn't get it. Figuerito runs in to J.G. Guerin there. Yep.
Tangled.
There's no ill intent.
No. Good spot for the Patriots, though, with about 12 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second half. See if they can take advantage here. It's a great ball.
Better job by Grayson Cameron, though. Uh-oh. She caught it, and
I think White ran into her.
It didn't look. It looked like White was close, but it's just one of those non-contact ones that you worry about.
Yeah, and definitely not what you want to see right before conference play starts.
She seems to be all right.
One of those you just have to walk off.
Almost a turnover there by Berg. And now it is a turnover as McEwen takes it away, but not sure what she's doing there. Just
Hills just seemed a little rushed to get that ball, but she had tons of space in front of her to bring it down and get across.
It was Hills. Ambria Hills. It was not McEwen. I mixed up my 0 and 8 there.
The jersey was folded. I see where the...
I thought it was 10 instead of 18, but still not sure what she was trying to do with that one. It's just a different speed that Zuger's got. She's just got a different gear than most other people.
Like 10th gear. Great cut.
Good shot there.
Love the look with the left foot, though. Not afraid to take a left-footed shot.
It was Sumner. Huge week of home Bears sports. Obviously, we had the volleyball team taking a thrilling 5-set match from Wingate last night. Got women's soccer here tonight, wrapping up a win Volleyball back home again tomorrow. They take on Coker, their second league match this week. Football on the road Saturday, and looking forward to welcoming fans back to Moretz Stadium a week from Saturday, September 25th, as Mars Hill comes to town. That one's blocked in the very deep corner, but it's going to be great next weekend to have fans back for a football game at Moretz Stadium. Already saw an electric atmosphere last night inside Schuford Gymnasium for the volleyball game.
Yeah, that was awesome. Definitely helped will our girls through that 5-set thriller. Dangerous kick there.
Kelly pops it over to the defender's head and has it with the left foot. She just chips it right in. Skillful there from Scarlett Kelly. Over two defenders' head and into the back of the net with the left foot. Her first of the year.
Taking another look here at our Spangler replay. One over the defender, two over the defender, and then slips a slow trickler right by the goalkeeper.
Been working hard. Didn't play in the first half. Started the second half and has been out there the whole time. Had 2 goals in the spring. Has her first of this fall. Cameron, the dangerous move there in front of the net, but it paid off for her. Allie Zuger, there's that gear we talked about. Just a tad bit too far there for Kelly. An offensive explosion tonight for the Bears. Emerson Talley had a good touch and run there.
Absolutely.
Brought it a good ways up the field. She's got it right here.
Nice switch through Kate Casey on the back line.
6.5 to go.
I'd like to see that switch be completed.
Mostly reserves on the field at this point for the Bears.
With the leadership of Figuerito, Kelly, and Zuger, as well as Grayson Cameron. I believe is that Rosie Weaver on the far side.
I think it might be.
I believe this is her first game back this season, missing the first 2 out with injury. So it's good to see her back out and moving.
Rosie's junior from Birmingham, England. Talk about Rhea Acton having a very soft-spoken personality. Rosie is the opposite of that, which we love.
Great clear there by Schuler.
She timed it perfectly. Here's Kelly.
There's a good call. That was a good call.
That was she definitely got fouled there.
The thing with that is, you don't get a call, you argue it, and then the ref's not going to give you a call.
Yeah, there's
moving forward.
Certainly a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelly's on the ground more than just about anyone. Figuerito chips one in. Be nice to see her get her first of the year.
Absolutely.
She's going to be one of the important goal scorers for the Bears moving forward into conference play that starts, as we've mentioned a few times, on Saturday.
Good step there by Zuger.
Another one. Bit of 2-on-2 action. Zuger splits the defenders and fires, but Willett's up to the challenge.
No one there to rebound for the goal, or for the rebound.
Under 4 to go.
Great movement off the ball, though, by Scarlett Kelly. Really taking that defender with her out wide and giving Allie that space to split those 2 back players. I think the Patriots just trying not to concede another goal in the final 4 minutes.
Do have a tiny weather threat maybe coming up.
My Weather Channel real-time rain alert just came across my watch.
I felt a drop or two, but it's not really raining.
I think we have about 15 minutes until we get anything. Hopefully it's just a light sprinkle.
3 minutes on the clock.
Not enough time to put our tent up.
Nope. That was about a 20-minute process the last time with the brain trust that we are.
Team bonding. And Kelly again on the ground. Drawing the foul.
I see our friend and comrade Malik Ellis laughing. He was at the center of the brain trust. Don't be laughing at us there, Malik. You're going down with the ship, my friend. Here's Sumner.
To Weaver.
Wouldn't it be nice to see Rosie get one in her return? Controlling it over there, but oh, look at her yelling.
Yeah, no one in the box for
her. Nope, she is ticked about it too. I could hear loud and clear what she said from up here with my headphones on.
As she should be, She had lots of time on the ball and still only 2 runners into the box. So just a little bit lazy by the Bears, not taking advantage of that. But
I love that Rosie Weaver in a 5-0 ball game with under 2 minutes to go, though, is still out there holding people accountable. We do have a penalty here inside the 18. Is this PK coming up?
Yeah, definitely inside the box. Looks like Scarlett Kelly will take this one.
Should have given it to Weaver.
You got to go with the people you know that are going to make it. You have your top 5. And she puts
Kelly's got 2 goals tonight. Second PK goal of the evening for the Bears. They're up a touchdown, 6-0.
You can see that PK here. Brought to you by Spangler Restoration. Kelly slots it right on the right side. Weaver close, but unfortunately can't get her hands on it.
So Acton and Kelly both with 2 goals here tonight. Proessel had the first, feels like an eternity ago that she got her. And Allie Zuger also has the 6th and final goal. The order went Proessel, Acton again, Zuger, and the last 2 were Kelly, right? Is my memory serving me? I think it is.
It is. Eric is the brains of our operation.
That's a scary thought. Francis Marion, they're fighting to the very end.
Absolutely.
One more run here for the Patriots.
See if they can squeak one out.
Hills has it.
Nice cut. Kelly there to clean it up.
Got around a good defender in Figuerito, though. And I think they're going to take the throw in on the far side. But tonight, from start to finish, belonged to the Bears. A dominating 6-0 win over Francis Marion tonight on the final non-conference tune-up before SAC play begins this weekend. For Danny Nicosia and the rest of our fantastic Bears Sports Network crew, Malik Ellis running the stream, Eric Bach saying so long from Moret Sports Complex. We'll be right back here Saturday as conference play begins with Limestone coming to town. Women first, then the men, right here on the Bears Sports Network. We'll talk to you then. Good night from Hickory.